Yeah, well, shit happens. Another good speed. And another good bobsleigh. Very good bobsleigh. I didn't wait for the gear properly. No release necessary. Good line. Surely. 80! Believe it or not, this is one of the most important sections of the lap. You are trying to avoid getting gear 4 before the end of the dirt, because you will lose it again and lose a lot of speed. So on the first turn at the water, I go down early, and to avoid getting gear 4, I make oversteers around the left curve and purposely try to cross the sand on the right turn before making my way tight up the hill. You can be a little tighter to the right coming off the dirt in order that you can leave the road section earlier, still aiming to land on the next section of the road on the left to avoid airtime before sharply turning in to the right. Aim through the narrow road gap and begin the drift early as you pass the protrusion on the right, aiming close to the inside left and full steer full speed around the bank section of the road, aiming to exit quite far to the right. Yeah, well, shit happens. Initially steer sharply right on the plastic, getting the nose down right through the checkpoint. Then reduce the steering angle, trying to avoid losing gear 4 here as you aim through the poles on the right and the circle on the left. Again, another section where we are trying not to lose a gear, this time gear 4, so aim up the grass at the beginning earlier than I did with less of an angle. Then you can tap a lot faster through the left turn before snapping the tyre tracks back together and then steering with a smoother angle out to the exit to the left. Here I did lose the gear because of my bad setup at the start of this section, so keeping the gear is clearly not needed in order to get the auto time. Enter the sausage just right of middle to avoid airtime, and then same again on the sausage transition jump. Aim for a low jump to the middle left on the landing, then aim middle right on the left of the sausage to avoid losing grip before trying to get tight to the right before the loop. Exit the loop aiming for the right of the track. I don't know why I air brake here, it really doesn't seem to make a difference. Full steer, full speed to the left immediately in order to make the thin gap, still steering to the left as you pass through it. This is arguably the most important section of the lap and will make or break your run. Aim as far left as you dare using the slope section to get the car airborne while already beginning the turn to the right. Drift on landing to make it around the first tight section and then use the camber to help you around close to the inside of the next part of the corner before using all of the run out on the left at the end to gain as much speed as possible before entering into the bobsleigh. Another good speed. Aim directly into the corner of the bobsleigh before full steering left to stabilize the car between the red lines. Once the car is stabilized, I briefly use action key 3 to keep that level of stable steering, before releasing the action key as we straighten out off the wall and do a tiny right tap to assist the lineup of the car for the upcoming corner sequence, as well as doing an air brake before landing to fix the rotation of the car. With the car already pointing a little to the right, make more right connections, just slide past the protrusion on the right before sharply steering left to get as close to the inside of the first part of the corner without going over the camber. And then reduce steering at the exit to feather your way out to the banking on the right in order to keep any speed. Keep the car straight on the plastic without any steering inputs until the car reaches gear 4. Only then can you gently steer around the plastic, aiming to be slightly steering to the right before the drop down. Release before the drop down in order to ensure the car lands on the downslope instead of on the flat part of the grass. Steer sharply up the grass hill to the right, getting very close to the gap on the right. Snap the tyre tracks back to straight before full steering right, all the way through the checkpoint, round to the right on the sloped section, across the grass that will give you a bit more angle, and down again through the next checkpoint, avoiding the wall on the left. If you got all of this good, then you should have been able to full steer right all the way from the top of the grass hill, all the way down through this second checkpoint in this section. No release necessary. Aim through this uphill left of centre to avoid airtime. Exit the jump on the left, aiming to land in the middle of the platform uphill. Drift around the right, somewhere close to the middle. This will avoid the car leaving the ground as it reaches the top of the banked platform section. The sign placement here I think is useless. I aimed the car at the bottom right of the corner of the sign in order to find the right of the first platform, and then I safed it here for the author time and went just straight for the middle of the second platform before straightening out for the finish. 80!